Welcome back to another episode of Boxing Talk with Brian Mendoza. I'm Andrew Bocanegra, and we have special guest Ramblin' Ralph with us today. We're going to cover Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua, Anderson Silva, Tyron Woodley. Let's start with you, Brian. Jake Paul, what were your thoughts?
Crazy fight, man. I think Paul came with the kind of right mentality of, trying to box and move and get away from those big punches that Joshua was throwing, because those are some scary shots. But I think Joshua was kind of just, trying to feel it out, just trying to find him. He wasn't sending those huge shots right away. He took his time, jabbing him, and I think he knew that Paul was going to get tired with all that moving he was doing.
Ralph, is it fair to say that the fight was not fixed? There were so many people on social media prior to the fight saying, hey, this is the fixed fight. Us in the boxing community, in the boxing world, we could tell within the first round, first 30 seconds, really minute if it's a legitimate fight or not. What are your thoughts there?
Well, I don't think it was rigged so much to say is that maybe AJ didn't really give 100%. I think he was like maybe at first 40%. You could see that his jabs were kind of like pawing. There was a couple of times where he was just kind of throwing punches in the air like if he was just warming up. So I think what Brian had said wasn't really 100%, just finding his way, letting him do all this crazy running around. And then when he actually had an opportunity to attack him, he just ended the fight.
Brian, I mean, it was a 22-foot ring, and it seemed like Anthony Joshua had a hard time just cutting him off. What are your thoughts there?
Yeah, there's kind of a lot of little variables with that one, because you got to remember Paul is not at the level that Joshua has been at. And sometimes when you fight guys like that, you don't wake up the same. You're not going to be as sharp as you normally are with like another world champion, another world-class fighter. And Paul, he did some smart things in there. He was moving as much as he kind of should have. He actually landed a few shots on Joshua when he had Joshua kind of just rushing in a little bit, trying to find him. But it's I think it was just Joshua, like Ralph said, just warming up, taking his time, and he knew Paul was going to get tired and he was going to get him out of there at some point. What
are your thoughts there? I mean, could he have cut off the ring better?
I think he could have ended that fight, to be honest with you, a lot sooner. But remember, it's been a year and a half since he fought, and Jake Paul's not a heavyweight. He's used to opponents sitting right there, throwing with him, not really running. But again, Reese had the same issue where Reese was running around the ring, and Anthony Joshua had issues. So I think that kind of just finding out, okay, this guy going to stop? How do I cut him off? He's running around, he's throwing these haymakers and then running out away from me. And I think just what Brian said, letting him just tire out, get into a corner. And again, I don't think AJ was given 100% to Brian's testament. It's not a heavyweight championship fight. It was a spectacle. He knew he could probably take him out whenever he wanted to. And then said, okay, I'm tired of him running around. I got him in the corner. Over.
Brian, did this fight play out the way you thought it would play out? And did it meet your expectations?
I mean, it met the expectations as far as the spectacle, as far as just being a show. But I thought it would either play out the way it did, or that Joshua would just come in and say, "Hey, I'm not playing around. I'm just gonna get you out of here in one round." But so yeah, it could only go one of those two ways, and it went the way where I'll give Paul credit, for at least being a little smart and not trying to sit there with Joshua, because a lot of people thought he was gonna just try to land a big overhand bomb or something right away. So I'll give him credit for that, for being smart and staying on his feet.
Hey Ralph, did Jake Paul at any point hurt Joshua?
No. He hit him with two overhand rights, and Joshua kind of just like, dude, you need to get off me. I really think, again, there's a big weight difference there. And to be perfectly honest with you, I think Paul doesn't need to be up at that high. If he wants to have any kind of success in capturing even a minor title, it's got to be in the cruiserweight division or lower. They're just too big pound difference and size difference. And I think, like I said, Joshua will just wait for him to tire out, get crazy, throw all these crazy punches, and then end the fight. I am disappointed, though, that AJ didn't try to finish him right away. I think that maybe for the fans, for the spectacle, he just was kind of letting this guy do his thing, his show, his promotion, Netflix, big checks. But at the end of the day, I would have been happy with a first or second round knockout, and everybody else would have as well.
Was Joshua holding back at all?
Yeah, I feel like, it's just like I said, he didn't wake up for this fight. This wasn't the Joshua we saw against, Klitschko and guys like that when he's really trying to get you out of there. So it was more of like, he's like, man, I'm here to legally rob the bank. walk away with a huge, biggest paycheck of his career, I believe.
90 million, right?
Something insane. And I think he was just happy to be there and, just be part of the show and collect that giant check. So, and like he said in the post-fight interview, the point was, to hurt Paul, get him out of there late, or not late, but at some point. And he got the job done, so I think he's happy with it.
Ralph, was this an exciting fight? I'll tell you, me personally, I enjoyed watching it. 2 years ago, if you would have asked me, are you going to watch Jake Paul, I would have laughed at you. I would have criticized you, probably, right? I mean, I enjoyed it, me personally. I mean, what's your overall thought? Did you enjoy it?
I enjoyed when he fought Anderson Silva more, only because Silva was actually, engaging with him and Paul was actually engaging. I didn't like the fact that Jake Paul, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to murder you, I'm going to take you to the ground and take you to the inferno, and then he's sitting there running around and throwing one punch and running around. A lot of Latino fans are not going to like that. They don't like that style. But for a pure spectacle and fan, I mean, look, you're sitting around the house drinking beers, watching the spectacle of the show. Hey.
Speaking of Anderson Silva took on Tyron Woodley, second round knockout. What are your thoughts there?
It ended quicker than I thought, but that was exactly what I expected. Like I said in our last show, Silva, well, they both come from the MMA world, but Silva's been boxing longer, so he has more of the boxing IQ, which is he's had more time to develop that side of it. And Woodley, he just, I've heard that he's extremely athletic, extremely talented, but he doesn't let his hands go. Sometimes he doesn't perform under the in the biggest moments. And I think this was another one. Silva, unleashed that little Roy Jones little trick. Just being flashy with it, touched his shoe through that uppercut, and Woodley kind of just sat there like a deer in headlights when that shot was coming.
So Ralph, what do you think Woodley could have done different?
I don't know what Tyron Woodley has on Jake Paul, but he keeps to be ending up on these cards and getting these huge opportunities, and he's not learning from his past mistakes. Like, you can't sit there and just let people just smash on you. Like, you're an MMA guy first. You know movement, you know angles, and he doesn't use them at all, which I don't understand being a former champ. Like, you were known for that. You were known for moving around angles, and you sit there and, again, deer in the headlights. You're sitting there just waiting for these guys to pummel you, and I just don't understand why he doesn't make those changes. But he keeps getting these opportunities, so as long as he keeps getting these checks, hey, keep getting knocked out, buddy.
Give me your overall take on the card in general. I mean, there were some great undercards. How did you enjoy the whole event? Do you have any feedback on any of the other fights, Brian?
Yeah, one thing I will give Paul credit for is he can put on a show. Whether, some of the fights are more of a spectacle, some of them are actually, genuine fights, like Alicia Baumgartner's fight. That was, phenomenal for women's boxing.
Fight.
Yeah,
Great fight.
Always,
great ending.
Exactly. Yeah, fights like that, that's where kind of Paul makes up for it. If maybe his fight isn't, the most serious or something, that was a huge weight difference, huge, there's always something going on. But as far as, a good show he's putting on for women's boxing, I'll always respect that. And he has solid fights on the undercard, so usually that's kind of where he'll make up for it a little bit. So I enjoy watching the show. Some of them are just fun to watch. Some of them are actually exciting as a boxing fan. So I'm all for it.
Did you enjoy the show, Ralph? Tell us about your feedback. It was on Netflix. It was it was free to your monthly membership. But
right.
What are your thoughts?
The first kid that they signed, the African American kid that they pulled out of USA Boxing, I don't know if it was the Olympic trials or what, but that kid can fight. I don't know what he's going to do as far as how long he's going to be able to carry this women's movement in boxing. He has pretty much all the top girls now. So I don't know how he's going to move forward because, again, if he keeps losing like this, he's not going to be the main attraction anymore. So he has to figure out a way to move the Baumgartners, the Serranos into the forefront and make them. So there's a women's card coming up on Netflix on their own. We'll see how that performs. But look, it's a spectacle. We knew what to expect. It was Jake Paul. It's a crazy dog and pony show, and it was exactly what we got.
Ralph, thanks for your input. Appreciate it. Brian, as always, thank you. Please follow us on all the social media sites at Boxing VIP Network. You can go to our website at boxingvip.com. You can listen to us on Apple Podcast, Spotify. Thank you for watching. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.